It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chili Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Fridays Travel and Cruise Industry podcast on the 7th day of February 2025. Brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chili's Cruises. We are en route to Ponta Delgada, which we should be arriving there tomorrow. And it looks like we're actually going to get in this time. We do have several stories this morning and a whole lot of information for you. The main headlines today, the main story is $9.4 billion order. Also today, Margaritaville at Sea Hikes Gratuties. Outbreak on Radiance of the Seas. Italian Coast Guard conducts medical evacuation. Santorini Earthquakes. 2 Disney ships in Alaska in 2026. And lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning on the podcast. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News and up pops the fat guy. All right, today is National Fettuccine Alfredo Day. I can deal with that. We're going to Q tonight, so that's not going to be any fettuccine Alfredo tonight, but I'm sure I can find some around the ship someplace. This day in history in 1964, the Beatles arrive, or should we call it invade, the United States, and Beatlemania begins. I remember it well. All right, so let's bring you up to date with my disasters. Some of you may be familiar with one or the other of these stories. Probably not familiar with both. So yesterday we were in Lisbon, and my plan was to go get a haircut. Nate had found the oldest barbershop in the world. It was close by. And he sent me information to go there so I could get my haircut. When I got over there, I got across the main thoroughfare in Lisbon and up one block to another cross street, and had to go a little jig down the street and then turn a sharp right up the hill. Well, where that sharp right goes up the hill from literally building to building across the street, the entire width of the street, was, for lack of a better term, a culvert that was probably 8-9 inches wide and about 6 inches deep. And the chair wouldn't go through it. I mean, it was a ditch. And it just wouldn't get through it. And then the street starts going up the hill, and then there's really crappy cobblestones. And the doors on that end of the street were all, none of them would have been accessible. So I'm not even sure the barbershop would have been accessible. But it was not accessible to even get to the barbershop. So I gave up on that and came back to the ship. I did a little filming. I had to refilm a couple things. Hooked up with John. He and I went to a late lunch. After we came out of lunch, the chair brushed the edge of the elevator door as it was closing. And when I reached down and I didn't feel anything and I didn't hear anything, Just keep that in mind. John and I went back down to my room, and we sat here and talked for probably a half hour, 45 minutes. And John got up and left. I went to the bathroom. As I came out of the bathroom, I reached down in my little bag that I keep on the side of the chair to pull the phone out because I was going to do some work. No phone. So when I checked to make sure it wasn't in the bag, the selfie stick was there. It either got pulled and or knocked off the selfie stick. I don't know, but it's flat gone. So I did all the things that you got to do. You know, I went to get services. I registered a lost phone. They got security. Security even went through the whole shooting match and including searching the room. I felt like a criminal. John, in the meantime, I had him call the phone. I'm telling these yahoos that if the phone was in the room, we'd hear it ringing. They didn't believe it and kept it up. I would not let them get into Hot Air Tom's stuff. That was his stuff. They can do anything they want with mine. I didn't care. But it was ridiculous. They called me a couple hours later. They did go check the elevator shaft where we had gotten in the elevator. There are 4 elevators from the floor we were on for lunch. And they checked them and there was no phone at the bottom of the shaft. I've checked a couple times today. There's still no phone. So I was left in a quandary of what am I going to do for the show, because the phone was my webcam. So I used that not only for filming stuff, it was the show. And I have to tell you, folks, between Sonny and John, they got me back going again. I have a GoPro. I'm using it. That's what I'm using now. You probably noticed that the view is different than normal. That's from the GoPro camera. But I can't thank Sonny and John enough, because I was at my wit's end on what to do. I'll tell you. So we're at least back in business, you know, and I'll get home and I'll get another phone. But that's where it stands. All right, we do have a couple of stories today. So we'll get to that after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. All right, the top story today, folks, comes from a Norwegian, of course. There's no way around that on this one. Cruise Line Holdings has firmed up its huge order with shipbuilder Fincantieri, reportedly worth around $9.4 billion. That's with a B. It finalized the initial letter of intent the company signed back in April for 4 large cruise ships for the Norwegian Cruise Line fleet. The new ships will be the largest yet for the flagship brand Norwegian Cruise Line, at around 266,000 gross tons, each accommodating more than 8,000 guests and crew members. They are set for construction at Fincantieri's Monfalcone shipyard, and NCL expects to take delivery of the first new ship in 2030. Further deliveries are scheduled in 2032, 2034, 2036. Fincantieri has completed and delivered 2 ships so far to NCL, Norwegian Prima and Norwegian Viva. The third, named Norwegian Aqua, the inaugural ship in the Prima Plus class, is due for delivery in the coming months. Margaritaville at Sea hiked its gratuities by up to 11% beginning February 1st. Passengers now have to pay $2 more daily regardless of their accommodations. From $18 daily gratuities for staterooms have been raised to $20, reflecting an 11% hike. Meanwhile, occupants of suites will be charged $24 per day instead of the former $22. The new rate for suites is 9% higher than before.
Be on one of the first MSC ships to go to Alaska when we sail May 25th, 2026 on the MSC Poesia round trip from Seattle. 7 nights going to Ketchikan, Icy Strait Point, Juneau, and Tracy Arm Fjord, and a stop in Victoria, Canada on the way back to Seattle. Inside cabin start at $849 per person, balcony from $1289 per person. The MSC Poesia going to Alaska. Why not join us? I promise you we'll have a great time. Just call me, 434-258-9264, and we'll cruise with Chili to Alaska.
The CDC reported a gastrointestinal illness outbreak aboard Royal Caribbean's Radiance of the Seas. The vessel, which embarked from Tampa on February the 1st for a 7-day Western Caribbean itinerary, had 89 out of 2,164 passengers, about 4.1%, and 2 out of 910 crew, that's less than 0.2%, reporting symptoms. The causative agent remains undetermined, likelihood as that it's norovirus. So Radiance of the Seas has started their cleanliness protocols. On February 5th, while navigating 20 miles or so south of Cape Tulata, that's in Sardinia, en route from Palma, Majorca to Palermo, Sicily, the Costa-operated ship Costa Toscana reported a medical emergency involving a 33-year-old female passenger who had suffered a stroke. The ship's officers promptly notified the operations section of the Cagliari Coast Guard, which immediately dispatched the Nemo 5 helicopter from the air section. Upon arrival, the helicopter crew executed a winch operation to hoist the patient aboard, ensuring her stability before transporting her to Brazzo Hospital in Cagliari. The passenger, a USA national, received timely medical attention following the medevac.
Let's talk about Allianz travel insurance. That's what I use and have for years. Without travel insurance, you'll have to navigate every travel emergency on your own, whether it's that missing suitcase or a medical evacuation. With Allianz travel insurance, you have a dedicated team of travel and medical experts on your side. For more information, just give me a call, 434-258-9264, and we'll talk about an Allianz policy that fits your needs.
Over the past several days, Greece's Cyclades archipelago, notably the islands of Santorini and Amorgos, have experienced 700 seismic events with magnitudes ranging from 3 to 5 on the Richter scale. Seismologists characterize this sequence as a natural phenomenon, cautioning that such activity may persist for several weeks. Disney Cruise Line unveiled summer 2026 plans exploring Alaska, Europe, the Bahamas, and the Caribbean. The Disney Magic and Disney Wonder will sell 7-night cruises to Alaska from Vancouver, visiting ports like Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan, along with Dawes Glacier. The Disney Magic will also make stops at Icy Strait Point. It will mark the first time 2 Disney ships have deployed to Alaska.
If you've got a vacation booked for Anaheim or Disneyland in the coming months, we've got you covered. For a limited time, you can save big on mobility equipment rentals throughout the city, including scooters, wheelchairs, power chairs, and more. Explore the theme parks and surrounding areas with ease in a Scooter-Round rental. Anaheim and LA mobility rentals are 15% off until February 28, 2025. Just call Scooter-Round powered by Will toll free at 1-888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use SRN 11137 for the best rates. That's Scooter-Round.
All right, that's going to be put an end to today's news. Let's go over and see who's in the chat room today, fussing at me. Mike's with us. Good morning, Mike. Good afternoon, Mike. Mike's in this part of the world. Kenneth is here. Hey, good morning, Mike. Good morning, everybody. Mike, were you able to hook up with Chili and Tom and the guys while they were in your neck of the woods? No, he was not. He had been sick, Kenneth. So we didn't get to see Mike. Sorry about that. We'll do it again. Kenneth says, hopefully you're feeling better. Yep, there's Gretchen. Hi, Gretchen. Out in Ohio. And there's Joanne. Good morning. Still on Odyssey, where it is very, very nautical today. Spray up to our 8th deck. Yeah, we had some of that on this ship too. Steve's with us. Good morning, Steve, out in Kentucky. Says good morning, Chili Tom and everybody. Whatever floats your boats with us again. Hey, y'all. Good to see you again. There's Roger in Jacksonville. Thomas Jefferson in 1792 had a bag of the U.S. first minted coins. He gave these 1792 half dimes to people in Virginia. Recently, one of those coins sold for $1.5 million. Yeah, recently. Happy hunting. Yeah, no kidding. Katie says, good morning. I almost forgot. Oh, no, Katie. There's Todd. Good morning, Todd. Sorry about your phone. Yeah, man, it's my fault, you know. As people have pointed out, that I put it in the bag so I can access it easily, and that's taking a chance. Has anyone ever metal detected your farm? Yes, we have. Hot air. There's hot air. He's sitting out on the balcony. Hello from our balcony, where I'm enjoying some chocolate-covered strawberries, courtesy of the assistant food and beverage manager. There's Justin, Mr. Bucket List. How we doing, Jay? McKenna says, hey, Mr. Bucket List, are you on a cruise? Katie says, she hopes you were sharing the strawberries with Chili. Katie, he offered. He did, and just a few minutes before I went on the air, and I don't want to be eating things and, do the show. But that's okay. Emily's with us. Good morning, Emily, up in New York. What's the temperature outside, Thomas? Probably 60 or so. We had a small issue at La Bistro where the latitude voucher did not give the number of apps. Did not give the number of apps that NCL recently advertised. I mentioned the problem to her that day after it happened, and she followed up with the strawberries. Okay, so basically what happened, you could get 2 appetizers, and they would only let him get 1. So had nothing to do with the entrees, but the dessert and the appetizers. So, Mr. Ambassador Henry got that straightened out with the bliss. Emily says, smash that thumbs up button, y'all. Thank you. Gretchen says, I bet you get your phone back soon. That would be lovely. But now it's been too long. I would be real surprised, Gretchen. Sunny and warm must be mid-70s. I don't think it's mid-70s. I mean, I could be wrong. I am shirtless and very comfortable. Yeah, but other time you sit around naked all the time. No, he doesn't, folks. I call it naked. Champagne with the strawberries. No, we don't want to give Hot Air Tom champagne. He did that one night, and it was sad. I haven't seen green grass in 2 months. When I woke up, it was 15 below zero. The wheelchair can't wait till March. Yeah, I understand. Gretchen says, look like spring here, but still cold. Well, we haven't had many nice days, I'll tell you that. So do I blame Hot Air Tom for sitting out there and enjoy it? Absolutely not. So I, might have even considered doing it myself. But now we'll get around to time to go to dinner. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today and for the weekend. With the new phone, I will see about doing some more live streams, some Facebook Lives. Not the new phone, with the new camera. But might have to do some adjusting until I figure out how to work it. But that might happen this weekend. And if it works out well, maybe we can do some more lives, but we'll see. This seems to be working fine. I've just got to get used to the fact that it's such a different view from me and from on the screen. It's much wider lens than I'm used to. So, but we'll see how that goes, y'all. Emily reminds everybody to smash that thumbs up button again. I do appreciate that. See you guys Monday. I have faith they'll turn in your phone. Yeah, that would be great, Gretchen. I hope you're right. But if not, we'll make the best of it. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. You guys have a phenomenal day and a phenomenal weekend. And we'll see you sometime this weekend. It won't be Monday before I'm back on the air. All right, have a great day, everybody. See you next time. I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, chilly chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chili's Cruises.